Hello everybody, I'm Raphael Perry, and it's time for some more Planescape Torment. Now, I haven't been recording any videos for, what, 3 or 4 days now? That's my bad. It's been a little bit of a weird week, but I can't blame it all on life circumstances. I mean, the last night or two, I almost had the energy, I had the time, I was almost ready. I mean, look, last night was Thursday night, and for those of you who don't know, on Thursday nights I run a online role-playing game with some of my friends. And just towards the end of that session, my voice was going a bit, my throat was getting dry, my voice was getting a bit weak, and I was like, I probably shouldn't record a video now. So yeah, that's kind of self-inflicted. That's our long-term obligation. Now, I believe I'm planning on going back to the bar, to the the Mouldering Corpse bar. No, not the Smouldering Corpse. The Dead Man. What's it? I should know this because there used to be a fan website named after the Dustman bar, and I have to remember what Mordecai Graven's voice sounds like. I have no idea. So we'll see when we get there. I have had a few comments actually saying, hey, I like the fact that you do different voices for characters, and I'm kind of like, well, it's what my father used to do when he read me bedtime stories as a child, and so I just kind of naturally gravitate towards that. You know, it just feels right. It doesn't feel right to have every character have the exact same voice, even if it is my voice reading them. I shouldn't have gone this way. I should have gone this way. Right, okay, yeah. So, what else about the nameless one? We currently got magic user class, that's great. I do think I'm going to need to switch back to thief again sometime soonish. I think there's a portion coming up, probably in like 17 or 18 episodes time, where you have to play alone as just the nameless one, and there's a lot of traps, so playing as a thief is, beneficial, obviously, because you can find the traps and disarm them. I'm not entirely certain though. I'm thinking basically that, and there's also a portion where coming up where there's plenty of traps and the nameless one would be the only possible thief in the party. So I may need to change class, which means I want to enjoy the mage class as long as possible. Now, I did mention in the last episode or two how much I loved the quest for learning the magic user class, or rediscovering it rather, and I love the fact that it subtly echoes the actual structure of the class itself, just going, getting a new spell, getting it ready, preparing it, and it's really great. I like that. Also, we have a spellbook with spells in, and that is lovely. I don't know if the game is going to allow us to learn higher level spells than we are capable of casting. Also, I want more first level spells. Do I have more spells? I have a Scroll of Chromatic Orb, which I could put in a hot slot. And I have an item here that I could have identified. Yes. I do have an identify spell. So here's an idea, right?
Come on in here, Carter, give it a rest. You don't want to sleep on the streets or get killed.
Let's just say, oh,
Come on in.
fine. Law skill did that then. The Hollow Axe. This huge axe is a double-bladed weapon topped with a spike. The edges are razor sharp, and the long handle allows the wielder to put considerable force into the swing. This axe is of a different alloy than normal steel. It's light and easy to swing. It causes the same amount of damage as an ordinary axe, but it strikes much more quickly. Kind of like a sword then in a way. Well, striking more quickly is one thing, but the thing that an axe or mace generally lacks that a sword has is the ability to redirect quickly. Once you're swinging, once you're in full swing, it's hard to redirect a hafted weapon. Whereas with a sword, because it's lighter and the point of balance is nearer the hilt, you can redirect more easily. That being said, if the axe being lighter means that we can redirect more quickly, that is very useful. So, normal damage for a battle axe, the speed, which will allow it to attack more quickly, I think is the difference, for weight possibly as well. Usable by fighters, currently only us, and we are not pursuing the fighter class at the moment. Also, we're armor class 7. There's something wrong here. Oh no, wait. So, this. We have this magical bracer of protection. Considered standard equipment for any adventuring mage, bracelets such as these can be found across the plains. Judging by the markings on this particular bracelet, it appears to have been made in a style quite common to sigil. Various glyphs of warding are meticulously carved along the surface, producing an almost hypnotic effect when looked at. When worn, this bracelet protects the wearer from normal attacks as if they were wearing scale armor. These give an additional armor class bonus, so they should stack. So scale would be armor class 6, that would drop to a 4, our dexterity would then drop to a 3, maybe? If I'm correct. Yes! I remember 1st and 2nd edition, okay. I remember the numbers. Right. So we're going to go back this way, we're going to go talk to Mortai Gravesend, we're going to help the chap who's really depressed and miserable because while he sold his body to the dustman, it's just destroyed his quality of life, you know. And also, I believe we have, looking for the 3 rings for Rourke. Gold, silver and bronze, and we have a bronze ring which I believe is Rourke's ring. Oh, also we have a rule of 3's earring which would give us 3 times 33 is 99, but I may be able to sell it for more, so I will just bear that in mind. Yes, merchants are funny like that. And we're approaching the Ginger Minger again. I'm sure she's lovely, really, except she isn't. She's been quite horrible to us so far. Right. Mortai Gravesend, was it like a kind of gravelly drive or something like that? No. I'll see if there's a clue in the description as I approach him. Well, there he is. Yeah. I'm right-clicking and rotating. Here, good zombie, and stop standing in the way.
Alright.
Watch as they all walk up and turn their back to him. Nope, I got it correct. Okay. This tiny, wizened man is dwarfed by his huge dustman robes. They look as if they were chosen to cloak his small stature. Although he looks to be in his late 90s, this man is extremely energetic. He fidgets continuously and his eyes dart around the bar like a bird's. Interesting. Not the kind of man you'd usually feel confident signing a contract with. The man's eyes gleam as he takes your measure and he gives a slight nod in greeting. Hail and well met, traveller. You look like one who is just getting their sigil legs about them. He trails off. Pardon me, have we met before? Your face seems familiar somehow. Possibly. Are you sure it was me? Maybe I was mistaken. Mortai shakes his head. No, he's still definitely got his hair on. Well, no matter. How is it that Mortai Gravesend may help you? Do you seek, he clucks his tongue as he speaks, the contract, perhaps? What manner of contract might this be? As if we don't already know. The contract? Why, it's but a simple transaction. From the depths of his huge robe, Mortai pulls forth a dusty parchment and a quill pen. I give you 50 commons. In return, after death, the Dustman faction may claim your remains. He smiles, then clucks his tongue. What use will you have for them at that point anyway? Well, what do the dustmen do with the body? Mortai holds up his hands as if he doesn't know. What does it matter? It is of no consequence when you pass on. Oh, I think it matters to me. Well, if you must know, oft times nothing is done with the body, and it is we, the dustmen, who have wasted all that money. And more fool us. Mortai gives a light smile, but then looks apologetic. But rarely, there are times when the workers in the mortuary need to be replaced, and then we may have need of your body. You mean I'll be animated as a corpse and put to work in the mortuary? That doesn't sound good. Ah, but no harm is done, no pain. Mortai raises a finger as if to emphasize the point. And there is no danger. In exchange for money you can spend in this life, you merely have to give us something you will have no need of anyway once you have died. Mortai taps his chest. I signed the contract myself, if you must know. I shall have no need of my body when I pass on. I'll consider it, but for now I had some other matters I wish to discuss with you. Highly related, by the way. Of course, Mortai nods. It would be my pleasure to answer any questions you may have. Are you the one who signed that dead contract with Angyar? Mortai frowns. He looks puzzled. Mayhap, he thinks for a moment. I do not recall the name, however. Do you have that contract with you? Mortai frowns, then looks into the folds of his robes. I do not normally keep the documents with me, but, it may be that... Mortai pulls forth a sheaf of papers from within his robes and begins leafing through documents. No, I don't have it on me. Would you like me to fetch it from one of the back rooms? If you could, I would like to see it. Hold on a moment. He steps up from the table and departs, and I shall wait for him to return. Oh, if I was a thief, I could maybe get him to bring it out, look at it, give it back to him, and then steal it off him as he leaves.
Updated my journal.
After a while, Mortai returns, a dusty piece of parchment in his hands. He holds it up, allowing you to see it, but he does not allow it to leave his grip. Well, then I shall examine it profusely. There it is, sir. Angyar, a very sombre fellow, was quick to sign. He clucks his tongue again. And now a much richer fellow. You glance over the contract. It looks genuine and very official. Very well. All seems to be in order. Mortai puts the contract away, and you notice he tucks it into his robes instead of putting it in the back room. Mortai clucks his tongue again. Does that answer your questions about the contract? I'd like to settle that contract. Mortai looks weary. I'm afraid that is impossible. The contract is signed, settled, and binding. The contract is tearing the man's life apart. It's causing him distress. It is possible that he may not even be able to approach the true death with such emotions churning in his mind. And approaching the true death is something the dustmen are very eager about. Mortai chews it over for a moment. It looks like you've negotiated him into a corner. I cannot. It is a matter of law, my friend. Besides, the burden lies upon the signer to overcome his own feelings in order to reach the true death. I cannot So, what you're saying is that you'll deny him the true death for the sake of a piece of parchment? Mortai sighs and holds up his hands as if to placate you. Look, it's not how you're making it out to be. You obviously hold the philosophy of dustmen in contempt to damn a man's soul over a piece of paper. Do other members of your faction know how of your conduct in this regard? If not, they soon will. Mortai glares at you for a moment, opens his mouth, closes it, then opens it. By the 9 hells! He reaches into his robes and throws the contract at you. Here! He sniffs disdainfully. All for a man's peace of mind. Now be gone! I'll leave you for now. Farewell, Mortai. I feel as if I've upset a petty bureaucrat and done a good deed. Or that I'm about to.
All right.
I also feel that I should soon start looking for... What's his name? Phaedrus? No, Farod! That's it, of course, Phaedrus being a sun god. Right. Oh,
I have been here before. This time I will not leave.
You have, dak'kon? Ooh!
What is your will?
dak'kon turns to you, his eyes like polished coal. His blade mirrors his eyes for a moment as you address him, then he nods. What is your will? There are things I would know, dak'kon. I will hear you. Can I talk about your teachings? dak'kon awaits. Can you teach me anything of the arts, dak'kon? Know that the way of the people is the same as the art is not the same as the art you have come to know. It is not the energy that gives the strength. It is knowing the stealth that gives strength. The teachings of Zerfamon speak of such things. Would you be willing to teach me the way of Zerfamon, dak'kon? Do you know what you have asked? The textures of dak'kon's blade flows until it becomes as stone. To walk the path of Zerfamon, you must know of the people. The knowing of such things by one, not of the people, is a difficult matter. There are those not of the people who have heard the way of Zerfamon, but they do not know the way. If you will teach me, I will learn. I know how humans come to know the art. They learn the art in pieces, in scrolls and spells and books. Such division is not the way of Zerfamon. You cannot learn parts and ignore the whole. dak'kon looks at you silently. His blade has resumed its shimmering surface. Know that it is a path that requires much focus. If your mind is divided, if you do not know the meaning of the way, your will is lost. I still wish to learn.
Updated my journal.
Know that I have heard your words, and I shall test them. To learn, you must know the people. To know the people, you must know the unbroken circle of Zerfamon. dak'kon holds up the stone disc in his possession, and his spider-like fingers hook into its sides. There is a click, and the plates of the circle slide into a new configuration. He reverses the motion, sealing the stone. Know the first circle of Zerfamon is open to you. Study it, and then I will hear your words. I will read the first circle then. Very well. I will examine it, then speak with you again. So this is really nice, right? Oh! Didn't expect that to happen. We have the unbroken circle of Zerfamon, which we couldn't previously study. Now we can use it and learn new spells. The Circle of Zerfamon. Unbroken it is. This small round stone is the unbroken Circle of Zerfamon. It is made up of a series of interlocking circles that fold out from one another. The complexity of the plates and the intricacy of their line links prove the text was constructed by a master artisan. Quick recording check. All good. Unlock the first plate as dak'kon showed you. You mirror the motions that dak'kon made upon the circle, and the plates give way at your touch, the rings sliding into a new configuration. Upon the rings are a series of symbols. The script is like no writing you have ever seen. It is a series of interlocking geometries with circles predominating. Just looking at it, you know the symbols, and know you can read them. We shall read the first circle of Zerfamon. Know that we are the first people. Once all was chaos. The first people were thought drawn from chaos. When the first people came to know themselves, they were chaos no longer, and became flesh. With their thoughts and knowing of matter, the people shaped the first world and dwelled there with their knowing to sustain them. Yet the flesh was new to the people, and with it the people came not to know themselves. The flesh gave rise to new thoughts, greed and hates, pains and joys, jealousies and doubts. All of these fed on each other, and the minds of the people were divided. In their division, the people were punished. The emotions of the flesh were strong. The greed and hates, the pains and joys, the jealousies and doubts, all of these served as a guiding stone to enemies. In becoming flesh, the first people became enslaved to those who knew flesh only as tools for their will. Know these beasts were the Illithids. The Illithids were a race that came not to know themselves. They had learned how to make other races not know themselves. And mind flayers! They were the tentacled ones. They lived in flesh, and saw flesh as tools for their will. Their blood was as water, and they shaped minds with their thoughts. When the Illithids came upon the people were people no more. The people became slaves. The Illithids took the people from the first world and brought them to the false worlds. As the people labored upon the first worlds, the Illithids taught them the way of the flesh. Through them the people came to know loss. They came to know suffering. They came to know death, both of the body and mind. They came to know what it is to be the herd of another, and to have their flesh consumed. They came to know the horror of being made to feel joy in such things. We shall finish reading the circle. Now slide the plates closed and seal the circle.
What is your will?
dak'kon's eyes. dak'kon turns to you. His eyes like polished coal. His blade mirrors his eyes for a moment as he addresses you. Then he nods. What is your will? There are things I would know, dak'kon. I will hear you. Can I talk to you about your teachings? dak'kon waits. I have read the Unbroken Circle of Zerfamon. I want to speak with you about the way of Zerfamon. What did you come to know? Strength lies in knowing oneself. I learned that once someone does not know themselves, they are lost. They become a tool for others. I believe this is the answer he will like and approve of. I learned that your people were once slaves to the Illithids. It seems they committed many crimes against your people. This would be a statement of fact, but I'm not sure he would appreciate it, so I will go for this one. Strength lies in knowing oneself.
Updated my journal.
You have come to know the first circle of Zerfamon. You not only see the words of Zerfamon, you have come to know them. dak'kon holds up the circle and hooks his fingers around the edges. There is a click, and the circles of the plate slide into a new configuration. He reverses the motion, sealing the stone. Know the second circle of Zerfamon is open to you. Study it, then I will hear your words. Very well. I will read it, then speak with you again. Did we get... No, we did not. Because I do know that through studying the way of Zerfamon, we can learn spells. And then we can even give these spells to dak'kon. But I'm not going to spend too long studying this now. I will enjoy the fact that I'm getting plenty of nice experience points though. I don't know why he said he'd been here before. Sarcophagus. So he didn't have a specific conversation in here. Let's go back to Angyar.
All right.
You see Angyar. He doesn't look any better than before. As you approach him, he turns slowly to face you. His face tightens. You again? Didn't you hear me the first time, you pox-ridden dog? Get out of my house, or so help the powers, I'll carve you where you stand. I'm going to show him his dustman contract. As you pull out the contract, the blood drains out of Angyar's face. For a moment he seems at a loss for words, then his temper quickly resurfaces. Where did you get that? By the powers, you'd best tell me. I'm not going to tell him his wife asked me to get it, because she begged me not to tell him. I took it from a dustman named Mortai. It has your name on it. Angyar can't seem to take his eyes from the contract. Why'd you bring it to me? He looks suspicious. To ransom it? Well... I would be willing to pay for it in his place. I'm not going to... If I take money from him, I don't think I'll be able to go and take it back to Mortai Gravesend and pay him. I'm going to tear it up in front of him.
Updated my journal.
You tear up the parchment, and Angyar's eyes follow the bits of paper as they float to the ground with a desperate look. He shudders slightly, then straightens as if a great weight has been lifted from him. Yeah. He looks like he's about to thank you, then stops and stares at you suspiciously. Nothing's free. Not in the hive, Cutter. I might need a favour in the future. Can you help me? I don't know what kind of favour he could help me with. And I don't really feel it fair to ask for one. So consider this free, and expect a lot of rules in the hive to change while I'm around. Angyar's angry expression crumbles. He looks tired of fighting. He looks tired of fighting his good fortune. I must have prayed to the right powers this past half-month. Oh, he sighs. You have me thanks, Cutter, for whatever that's worth. Just don't make the same mistake again. I may not be around next time to help you.
In knowing the teachings of Zerthamon, I have become stronger.
Ooh. dak'kon got a level! He's got his fighter level, so he's going to get half a d10 plus half of 3. Oh, half of 2. So, 2 to 6 basically off. And he'll get a little bit better at fighting. It's a fighter level, it won't do much for him.
My blade has shifted.
2 hit points again. Oh god, he rolled low, didn't he? He rolled like a 3 or 4. Save and throws have improved, slightly. Fighting skills have improved. No thief skills, he's got some extra health. That's it. But he's, you know, reasonably close to his mage level. Mort is just happily chugging away to that 5th fighter level. And we're, you know, we're doing alright. We're about halfway from 5,000 to 10,000. Now, let's go see if we can help that simple-minded fellow who needed us to recover the rings for him.
This is probably the worst place we can be in Sigil at the worst time.
Well, yeah, if you keep mispronouncing Sigil Mort, then it probably is the worst place you could be. Because people might duff you up. I mean, admittedly, you haven't got much of a body to damage. And we're moving a lot slower than the other two. Are we overburdened? Not particularly. Interesting. Let's move on and find those remaining rings. For the chanting, wandering mages who like to say abracadabra, except the last one of them always forgets the final syllable. That's not good. He's got a duff memory. So let's go look for these rings in the tents around here. I believe when we found one, we learned that he stays in whichever tent he comes to. You know, he just can't remember his place. So there's this fellow. I believe there was a ring here under the bench. We found that one. So that's a good start. Hope I haven't sold anyone.
All right.
Is this locked? I hope not. I think we unlocked it. Yes, we did. Now, this tent has an entrance around the back here, which is really hidden, and you have to like mouse around to find it. Hello, lady. Why, what are you doing here? Where did that idiot hide it? It's got to be here somewhere. I bet she's looking for the same thing we are. You seem to have startled her. She abruptly stops rummaging through the tent and stares at you nervously, obviously, because this isn't her tent. Greetings. I wasn't doing anything, I swears it! Why don't you tell me what you weren't doing? She looks at you as if about to tell you something, and then she makes a dash for the door. Hey, stop! And she's gone. But hey, look at this woodpile over here, which we can search and find a silver ring! Isn't that nice?
I'm gone.
Now, let's go around looking for other tents. Now, the other tent isn't near these two. It's a bit further away. I can't remember where, but there's like a few tents up here. I think it's one of them. Because I remember one tent being further away from the other two, and I always remember where those two are, but I just can't remember what the third one is. However, ooh, there's a tent entrance. There's, yeah, okay. Let's just head on in then. And the bed. Because I remember one's a bench, one's for wood, one's for bed. And it's the middle part of the mattress and not the whole mattress.
All right.
And there's our gold ring. And I am going to hand this scroll chromatic orb to dak'kon, because he can learn it. And he does like knowing things. Now, it does mean giving him spells that are not part of the way of Zerfamon, quite bizarrely. But even so, let's see if we can unlock this first. Is there a way to... No, I can't remember it. I'll just close it for now. I also know that unlocking the Way of Zerfamon requires points of intelligence, which we'll have to put points into. However, I'd also like to put another point into wisdom to help start getting that increased experience gain, and maybe regaining more memories. So I do have all 3 rings now. Let's head outside and go back to, what was his name? Burke or Gork or Gurk or something? And
I'm gone.
give him the rings so that the 5 magicians can complete their ritual. One of them, can't even remember, is the one word, the one syllable he has to remember. And given that he's a magic user who needs to be good at remembering things, he's probably in the wrong job, to be honest. Rourke! Did you bring? Yes? I've got all the rings. Look, here you go. You new friend of Rourke now. Rourke take rings now. Rourke thanks new friends. Farewell.
Updated my journal.
We're getting experience. Masters, Rourke has the rings. Then let us begin. Ah, bra, ka, da. Oh, oops, bra. Idiot. And there's a lim-lim. A lim-lim that kills them. All dead. Right. Strange demonic lim-lim? You see what appears to be an ordinary lim-lim. It's hard to believe that this cute little creature slaughtered 5 wizard apprentices with such ease. I'm not going to kick it, it might slaughter me! I mean, I might die and regain some memories, but maybe not. Let's leave it alone. Rourke lose friends, but Rourke make new friend. Call him Green Thing. Alright, farewell, Rourke. But these guys are dead, and we can just like totally pick up their stuff, and he's going to let us. A clock charm, that's great. Let's give that to dak'kon, actually. We can pop that up there with those. Is that all this wizard had? See a scroll in that loot pile, though. Gold earring, scroll of armor, scroll of identify. Physical attacks shall be better thwarted as protection is granted to those who have none. This spell grants an armor class of 6 to the target, like the braces we're already wearing. It is cumulative with dexterity bonuses, but nothing else. The spell lasts until the wearer sustains cumulative damage totaling more than 8 points plus 1 point per level of the caster. Note that the armor does not absorb this damage, it only disintegrates after that much damage has been inflicted on it. We should try and learn this anyway, because we might find another bracer that we want to use. You succeeded in learning this spell. Identify, we already know that spell. So let's actually give that to him, in case he can learn it as well. And we'll see what this magician had upon his corpse. They also can't have been very competent magicians. This was probably a joke on the fact that first level magic users could be killed by a simple house cat because they had like 1 to 4 health. A silver earring, we'll find a use for that, I'm sure. And then here, a gaudy ring that we could have identified if we'd kept our identify spell ready. Green steel dagger. Okay. Oh, but wait! We do have it ready, don't we? This appears to be a silver ring of a large stone of some kind mounted on it. Maybe an engagement ring of some sort. I mean, I don't know, you could do some serious damage if you punch somebody with that on your finger. You know, let's identify with a spell. Ring of the Traveller. +1 to armor class. These rings are quite common across the planes. Simple to make and in great demand, mages usually create these items as a way to raise quick money. This particular ring has a minor enchantment on it that protects the wearer from harm. And because this isn't 3rd edition, there's no bonus types, so it should stack with the amber earrings, taking us down to an armor class of 2, which would put us level with Mort and dak'kon. So now we have a fairly solid, durable, highly well-defended party. Also, this green steel dagger, 2 to 5, 1 to 6. Okay, so it's not quite as good as the bone dagger, but it's still an interesting weapon. And finally, you, sir. Scroll of Fist of Iron. This, I don't think, was a 2nd edition spell. I think it was one created for this game. This spell gives the caster's fist the strength and durability of iron, turning it into a living weapon. Any punches the caster deals will do more damage than normal. This spell works only on the nameless one. When cast, all his normal punches are +3 to hit and +6 damage. The nameless one cannot cast spells while the Fist of Iron is in place. So basically, it's like a lesser version of Modern Planet's Transformation, which is a spell that basically turns a magic user into a fighter. Succeeded in learning the spell. Ow! No, I didn't mean to rest, I meant to click the spell book. So we now have more level 1 spells. And more level 2 spells. Those are all. So what I'll do next time I rest is drop a chromatic orb for a Fist of Iron. That seems very reasonable. We've now looked at flipping everything out of these dead blokes. Oh, there's a crate over here. Sorry, thief instinct kicking in. Some junk. We got some. That must have been trapped. Better head outside before we set off any more traps.
Done.
Alright, so now I think I should probably be heading back towards the Ragpicker's Square to try and find out where Farod is keeping his lodgings. I mean, look, I may have played this game like 20 years ago, but where Farod keeps his
This
staff
is probably the worst place we can be in Sigil at the worst time.
Yeah, alright, Mort. It's not something that's easily forgotten, you know.
All right.
And hey, as far as experience goes, we're doing pretty good. Pretty good. I'm relatively comfortable with what we've done, confident that we're doing well, and we'll eventually find our way to Farod's Kip, and also that this is looking to be a reasonable length for an episode. So what I'll probably do is walk all the way back. Hey, there's Anna's theme again. At some point, she'll be more than just a ginger girl with a tail who stands around insulting us. She'll turn into a ginger girl with a tail who follows us around insulting us. I don't know what's worse.
Done.
Uh-oh. That sounded like music about to change to fighting music for a moment there. And there's Porphyrion there to teach us the ways of Erit Agi, just in case we need to fight that little bit better and harder.
I'm gone.
But yeah, we should like turn this place over and be really thorough, you know? Find everything we can. Can we walk back here? Doesn't look like it. Alright, well, I think I'm going to leave it here. I hope you all enjoyed this episode, and I will look forward to seeing you all in the next one. I'm going to say bye-bye for now, and cheerio, everyone!